Hiya, Finn. How are you doing?
Hey, Tom. How are you, mate?
I'm really good. Last Lego purchase you made, what was it?
Ooh, it's honestly, it's been a while since I got married. I haven't been allowed really to play with
You
much
haven't been
Legos.
allowed. Oh
Well,
no.
I'm a busy man now. Not only am I a WWE superstar, but I'm a homekeeper, and I like to do a few bits around the house, and I've kind of got more focused on taking care of the garden and cleaning the gutters and things like that. So, still Lego has a huge part of my heart, but I haven't made any purchases recently.
But there's still, I hope, part of your heart and part of your house. I like to think there's still a nice room where it all still presents itself.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. There's a room full of boxes of Lego.
There you go. That's what we like. You're back in the UK next Sunday. What's nice is, if I've got this right, Finn, the last match on the independent scene before you joined WWE, I think, was in Newcastle. I believe you were at the Riverside.
I was at the Riverside, and I almost ended up in the Tyne.
You did. The venue's amazing for that, because you fall out of the bar, and before you know it, you're nearly in the river. Did you have much chance to explore Newcastle when you were here last time?
That's exactly what happened in the Riverside. I got thrown into the fire exit. The doors burst open. All of a sudden, we're on the street. All of a sudden, Jack Jester, a fella from Scotland, is trying to throw me in the Tyne, and it was a hell of a night. I'm sure we had a couple of drinks afterwards in the Riverside. That time of my career was a little bit of a blur, to say the least.
A night in Newcastle is a bit of a blur for everybody, I think.
It was rock and roll wrestling, but it was a great time. Of many fond memories of times in Newcastle, and one of my best friends in the business is a Newcastle lad, Adrian Neville, or Pac, and some great memories there.
Do you still get to chat to Pac quite a bit?
Absolutely, yeah. We've been friends since we were teenagers in the business, and a lot of water's gone under the bridge since then. But we're in close contact quite frequently.
He's doing some very exciting things at the moment. I don't know how. I know you're so busy. I don't know how much you get to keep tabs on the work that Pac is doing over the other way.
Yeah, doing incredible work. Although I think we had a really good night here at home in my house. We had a couple of beers, and we watched the best bits of Roy Keane all night long. So
that is a sensational evening.
That was a priceless night. All right, yeah.
Who introduced you to wrestling in the first place?
Oh, when I was a kid, it was World of Sport TV. It was on World of Sport. So I remember my dad's dad, my granddad, watching it. When I was very, very young. Then kind of Sky TV came into Ireland, and then it was WWF was all over the television every Saturday morning, and kind of got gripped by it from an early age, and kind of never let go.
Who was one of those first stars when you were watching at that age that really popped off the screen to you?
At a really young age, Coco Beware.
Nice.
He's this high flying guy. He's not as big as the rest of them. He's got a bird on his shoulder. He's doing all this. It was just, for me as a young kid, that was my guy.
You picked up quite a few bumps and bruises in the industry. One of your favorite scars, you've said, is just above your eye, that was made by your brother, though. Is that still there?
Correct.
Is that
That's
still
correct.
there?
I don't know if you can still see it. Some days it's more visible than others, but we were out in the back fields playing a bit of golf, and we'd lost, our last golf ball, and we were hacking around in the long grass trying to find the golf balls, and I kind of leaned into his hack, and that was it. We got a nice little scar to show.
Has he shown any interest in the wrestling as well, your brother?
He is, yeah. He's a big fan, and a big supporter, but he has not made his in-ring debut, that's for sure.
One to watch. You kept going despite the global pandemic. Wrestling carried on, WWE carried on. How did you find that transition from what you'd always known, which is wrestling in front of fans, packed fans on top of each other at the Riverside, for example, to wrestling in front of nobody? How was that transition for you?
Well, believe it or not, there was a point in my career where I did wrestle in front of nobody because, at some independent levels, in Working Man's Club or community center, I've wrestled in front of maybe, 3 or 4 of the parents of other wrestlers. So it wasn't something that I was completely unfamiliar with. But, wrestling's, designed to be enjoyed by, a group, and, the energy that's in the building, we receive that, and, we project that to the crowd. So it's really something that needs to be shared. And wrestling in front of no people was, it was an experience, and it kind of helped me focus a lot more on my, training from the past, British catch as catch can style or Japanese mat-based wrestling. But all that aside, glad to be back in front of the people, glad to be back, in the big arenas, glad to be back touring first and foremost, and back out on the road and performing in the UK.
You've not long been part of the SmackDown roster, back again on the SmackDown roster, rather. And you mentioned the UK there. Now, there was stuff that did the rounds where you'd mentioned that you'd pitched the idea of coming to do more stuff in the UK. For those who aren't familiar, NXT has a branch here in the UK. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that? What was it that made you want to make that move across here, even on a temporary basis?
And it wasn't necessarily on a temporary basis. I'm very interested in the idea of challenging myself against, different performers. I'd been on NXT, I'd been on Raw, I'd been on SmackDown, I'd been back to NXT, and I felt like, the next kind of territory that I wanted to experience fully was NXT UK. Obviously the office had some different ideas about that, and they said, maybe there's a point in time where we can do that, but right now, the journey was decided that I would return to SmackDown, and obviously very happy to be back on SmackDown, but the idea of a run in NXT UK is very, very appealing to me.
Who are some of those people on that brand that you like to have mixed it up with, or still would like to mix it up with, rather?
Well, first and foremost, Walter, who's a guy who I feel like we were kind of getting towards that match at the beginning of the pandemic, before international travel got shut down. That's one. Jordan Devlin, someone I'd love to face again. Noam Dar, someone I'd love to face again. Shah Samuel, someone I would love to face for the first time. A-Kid, thinks tremendous potential. So there's a whole host of guys out there that are doing fantastic work, and NXT UK is in good hands.
It really is. And again, a few other names there that you've mentioned you've never worked with before. Who do you think is going to be somebody that breaks out from that brand? A lot of people over in the UK, there's a lot of love for one of our own from the Northeast, Rampage Brown, who is now part of that brand as well. And do we see big things in the future for someone like Rampage Brown?
Absolutely. Rampage, I know, has been doing this just as long as I have. And, he's got tons of experience. He's got the look, he's got the charisma, he's got the presence, and he's got the ability. And, for me, he's someone who could, seamlessly make the transition to Raw or SmackDown, when required. And someone who I would love to be in the ring with.
When we talk about making big changes and big moves from one place to another, there's loads of talk about promotions crossing over at the moment from all around the world, from places like Japan and Mexico and the States and here in the UK as well. The phrase "forbidden door" is thrown around a lot in regards to that. Samoa Joe, one of your contemporaries, has said he doesn't like the idea of the forbidden door. He says you wouldn't, let a Man United player go play for Man City. Where do you stand on that? You must have heard discussions on cross promotions and things like that. Where do you stand on the forbidden door thing?
I love the idea of the forbidden door. I feel like if I have, an opportunity to wrestle in Japan or Mexico or in Europe for whatever promotion, I would love the opportunity to be able to do it. Obviously, contractually in WWE, they take care of all my dates and my bookings and my travel and everything. So, they organize everything. But, if we can somehow, set up a working relationship between WWE and these other brands from around the world, I would love to challenge myself against performers from, different regions.
Because you turned 40 this year, and it shocked the world. That's the biggest shock in wrestling, sir. What is your secret to being 40 and looking anything but 40?
Well, thanks very much. But I think just healthy, consistent living. I don't do anything especially abnormal. I just try and not eat any processed foods, and eat chicken, veg, a little bit of beef, a little bit of fish, a little bit of salad, and lay off the cookies and the beer.
Do you miss them though, or do you still indulge a little bit?
I know I still indulge. But I keep it to a limit, and I really treat myself on the things that I really, really love. Like I'm not gonna waste my time on like something that I'm not like massively into. But like I'll eat a massive bowl of ice cream, like because I'll enjoy every bite of it. But sometimes like a burger doesn't really appeal to me, or like real kind of junky, trashy kind of fried chicken or chicken nuggets doesn't really appeal to me. But something like a pizza or ice cream, some nice chocolate, a bag of crisps from home, which they don't have here in the US, like proper crisps, like King crisps or something, or Taytos from Ireland.
They don't do Walkers or they don't do any taters, do they? They're just
they're
a bit rubbish, Finn. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they're garbage.
Finn said that, not me.
There goes my endorsement deal.
I'm glad you said it, not me. I've been asked to ask about this. From SmackDown on Friday night, you have the match against Roman Reigns. As the show is ending, big flash of red, lights come back up. No one really acknowledged it on commentary. Demon Finn Balor, question mark?
Question mark?
Are we seeing a demon? Is this the demon? Is the demon coming back? You've always said, nah, we're done. The demon's parked. It's fine. Are we seeing a little change of Finn Balor in weeks to come?
I feel like there's a point in time that everything is appropriate and everything is not appropriate, and this could be one of those times. So we'll have to wait and see.
Watch this space on that one. But long before that, we've got you coming to Newcastle a week on Sunday. For those, before they get to the show in Newcastle, if people are discovering wrestling for the very first time and they want to know what Finn Balor is all about, is there a particular match that you can point them towards that says what Finn Balor is all about?
Oh, that's very hard for me to pick from a 21-year career to choose one match.
Because I know you've got Seth Rollins on it when you come around. I know that you and Seth Rollins are going to be mixing it up, and I know you guys have got a history between you two as well.
Yeah, myself and Seth have a huge history. We had a main event at SummerSlam 5 years ago where I beat him for the Universal Championship. But I wouldn't, for personal reasons, I would put that up there for what the impact that had, on my career and my self-belief and, my, being able to adapt, to circumstances in the ring on the fly. That match is certainly up there. But, if you really want to know what Finn Balor is about, I would say watch the most recent match from last week's SmackDown versus Roman Reigns. Got jumped by the Usos before the bell, got low blowed in the match, and still didn't tap out. And, there's still a lot of unfinished business with Roman Reigns. So we're going to get to that soon.
Week on Sunday, WWE Live in Newcastle. What can people expect from a night watching the WWE Live if they're coming for the first time?
Fun, family entertainment, great energy, laughs, excitement, and just an all-round genuine shared experience and a welcome back to the wrestling world, to watching live wrestling in unison.
And will you partake in a brown ale when you're finished? I know you don't normally, but
for a special occasion like this, absolutely.